Today we're discussing a true gentleman's cartridge, the 300 Holland Holland Magnum. Its history, its competition use, its effectiveness on game, and its comparison to 300 Winchester Magnum. Hi, I'm Ben, this is Benny, this is episode 9, let's get into it. General information. The 300 Holland Holland Magnum is a belted rimless cartridge introduced by British gun company Holland Holland in 1925. It is based on the earlier 375 Holland Holland and fits in a Magnum-sized action. This cartridge has a lot of body taper and a low shoulder angle. This is to assist in loading and extracting cartridges with ease, especially in harsh climates. This tapered design requires the cartridge to headspace off the belt at the base of the cartridge. History. The Holland Holland Company introduced the 300 Holland Holland Magnum in 1925, marketed as the Super 30. This cartridge came in two variants, belted and rimmed, with the belted variant being designed for bolt-action rifles and the rimmed variant designed for single-shot and double rifles. The belted variety is far more common and will be the focus of this video. The 300 H&H was designed as a proprietary cartridge exclusive for Holland Holland. And for this reason, this cartridge received very little attention outside of Britain's upper class. Ammunition at this time was loaded with Cordite, and bullet weights and velocities duplicated the performance of the 30-06 Springfield. It wasn't long and Holland Holland released their patents on the 300 H&H. This allowed other manufacturers to build rifles and ammunition in this cartridge. The 300 Holland Holland went mostly unnoticed by most shooters until the 1,000-yard Wimbledon Cup was won using a rifle chambered in it. The target shooting success of the 300 Holland Holland was the catalyst that earned it a place in America's shooting history. In 1935, Ben Comfort won the 1,000-yard Wimbledon Cup using a Griffin & Howe Remington 30S express rifle chambered in 300 Holland Holland. 2 years later, Corporal Hansford Wagner won the same competition. He was using a Winchester Model 70 in 300 Holland Holland. And in 1938, Sam Tekulsky beat the previous world record in the big bore long gun shooting competition by scoring 99 consecutive hits on a bullseye at 1,000 yards. Sam was using a Winchester Model 70 in 300 Holland Holland. By this point, the Western Cartridge Company was offering a variety of loaded ammo options for the 300 Holland Holland, which were up to 200 feet per second faster than its original loadings. Once the 300 Holland Holland had taken hold, it became a popular hunting cartridge on a wide variety of game. For medium game, the 300 Holland Holland is a potent cartridge. It can be loaded with 150 grain projectiles and produce velocities of around 3,200 feet per second. At this velocity, the 300 is capable of producing fast and often spectacular kills on this size of game. For large game, you can use 180 grain projectiles at up to 3,000 feet per second or 220 grain projectiles at 2,600 feet per second. These well-constructed projectiles can render deep, broad wounding in these animals, ensuring reliable kills. Comparisons. The 300 Holland Holland compared to the 300 Winchester Magnum. The 300 Holland Holland's place in popularity amongst other 30 caliber Magnum cartridges was short-lived. In 1963, the 300 Winchester Magnum was introduced. It could match the 300 Holland Holland's velocities whilst fitting in a standard length action. This would be a major cause for the 300 Holland Holland's decline in popularity. The 300 Winchester Magnum has the 300 Holland Holland beat by 100 feet per second on most loads, but both are almost identical in accuracy potential and effectiveness on game. The 300 Holland Holland's archaic case design may lead one to speculate that it somehow isn't as accurate as more modern cartridges. But in reality, the 300 H&H is capable of producing exceptionally tight groups. And with the long tapered case, chambering a 300 H&H Magnum cartridge is almost as buttery smooth as a Lee Enfield. So, what do I think of the 300 Holland Holland Magnum? I like it. Even though it's an old, somewhat dated design, it has an air of mystique and nostalgia about it that cannot be ignored.